My journal, June 9th, 2022. All right, so as you probably are aware, I've taken a few days off from doing my journals, and I just wanted to speak to the reason why that is. It's just been a pretty busy week for me. Work has been really busy lately, as well as just a few other things, like I've been house hunting, so that's really been taking up a good portion of my time, my time outside of work. Just because I'm just focused on that, trying to get a bigger house for the family and everything. So, and hopefully being able to move before the end of the summer. So that's kind of where I've kind of been focusing a lot of my attention to. But this week in particular, it's been a it's been a it's been a not I wouldn't say a difficult week, but it's been more of an emotional type of week because it marked two anniversaries in my family. The anniversary of my Uncle Jeff passing, which was Monday, and the anniversary of my Uncle Bill passing, which was Wednesday. And it it, I'm better with it all. So I'm not in a sad place or anything, but I still sometimes, during these moments and during these times, I just like to be still. You know what I mean? I just like to just be still is the best way I can put it. So I don't always think, okay, let me jump online, let me do this, let me do that. I mean, I might pop my head out every now and then, but for the most part, at times like this, like for these particular days, are days like when I think about, my Uncle Eric, or my Aunt Rita, or my Aunt Beverly, or other relatives. In those particular moments, I may tend to, go a little silent, and a lot of times that's just because that's just my way to sit with it. That's just my way to sit with my thoughts of them, my memories of them, and I think about all of the good times and things like that. So I just reserve that time for that. So a lot of times when these moments come up, I will be, sitting still. I will be quiet. I will be silent. But also, another thing was something that I thought about 2 years ago. And it kind of ties in also to what I mentioned previously about my children. Now, I mentioned before about my children as to why I don't post them a lot or anything like that. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, they're growing. I mean, they're teenagers. And I think, when you're 14 and 16, you may not want certain things said, certain pictures shared, you may be a little bit more cautious and mindful of that. So I have to respect that. I have to respect their space. I have to respect their feelings. So in that, I tie that also to my family. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, my uncles that I just spoke of, my Uncle Jeff, my Uncle Bill, their children, Andrea, Tracy, Jade, my Uncle Jeff's children, and then Christina and Matt, my Uncle Bill's children, as well as my Aunt Roxanne and my Aunt Patsy. I think about all of them, and what goes through my mind sometimes is the fact that in these times, like in the past, like I probably would have posted something. I probably would have posted a picture or made a nice, try to make a nice long post as a gesture to show my love and my appreciation for, my uncles. But what I also started to think about was I have to maintain a certain level of sensitivity and a certain level of understanding for them, for the kids, for my cousins, for my aunts, and for other people. Like, even like in another example, like, for my Aunt Rita, who I love so much, and I missed, to death. But I have to be mindful when I'm making these posts or when I'm doing these things, because I don't like her her children, my cousins Shanice and James, they're still dealing with it too. So, so in all of this is what I'm saying is I just try to be sensitive to them. It's always just to show appreciation and to highlight the greatness of these particular people and what they meant to me in my life. And, and when I do post those things, I'm definitely showing my appreciation for the fact that as their children and as their spouses, that I appreciate the fact that you shared them with me and allowed them to have a portion of my life and have an effect on my life. But I also have to be supremely mindful of you guys and your feelings, because, while some of them may actually post stuff about these days or about these anniversaries and these things, some may not, the grieving process may still be a little bit different. It may still be difficult. And maybe they don't readily want to see it posted on Facebook or on Instagram or anything like that. So I choose not to do it because I don't want to trigger anything. I don't want, if they do, then maybe I'll piggyback off that or something like that. But for the most part, no, I'm just going to leave that to my family, and let them handle it. And then, like I said, I'll sit with it. But just know, for all my cousins, for all my aunts and all my uncles, for anybody who I've lost, anybody who's passed, that I love them and I miss them tremendously. And anytime I've ever posted anything, it's always just been to appreciate and to highlight that person and how much I love them. So I just wanted to speak to that and just let everybody know that's part of the reason why. So in closing, I think I may mention that also this week. I had a friend of mine. He had to have surgery. He had a tumor, excuse me, that he had to have removed out in his neck. He had surgery the other day. The surgery was a success. He's doing well and he's recovering. So that also was on my mind, pretty heavy. Big shout out to my boy A for that. Hope you resting, man, if you listening to this. And get back to it as soon as you get all recovered up and everything. But the do-rag is going on, so y'all know that means I'm about to hit the bed. But I just wanted to share those things. And one last time, RIP to Uncle Jeff, Uncle Bill, and I want to send much love and good positive energy to all my cousins and to my aunts, as well as, my other relatives and everybody out there. Love you guys to death. And, hope everybody's doing good, taking care of yourselves. And that's it. That's it for me for the night. So peace and love, and be on the lookout for possibly more of these, more audio journals, as well as the written ones. So I'm out, man. And thanks for everybody who's been tuning in, reading these and checking in with me. I appreciate all of the love. All right. Peace. One.